مرحبا، اهلا وسهلا فيكم في مقهى كنار لايف اليوم. مبسوطين كثير عشان شفناكم. نهاية الاسبوع، الويكند جاي، الجو حلو. الجو عندنا حر، كيف عندكم في دلس الجو يا نسرين؟
الجو عنا يعني حر شوب رطوبة. شوية هيك فشت يعني عنا شوية هيك مطر. بس طبعا هذا الشيء يعني نحن متوقعينه يعني كل سنة يعني we embrace ourselves للصيف بتكساس دائما بيكون حر. لكن هيك الأسبوع الماضي مرق له كم يوم يعني بالليل كانت الحرارة هيك يمكن 15 16، فكان كتير حلو الطقس بالليل. يعني احنا صراحة اعتبرناه هدية من السماء يعني. لكن
ممتاز.
لكن طبعا زي ما انتم سامعين بيأثر على الصوت، اللي انا كثير بتأثر برطوبة، يعني بأثر طبعا شوي على الحساسية وعلى الرطوبة، على الصوت عفوا. فعلى العموم نحن جاهزين لحلقة الليلة. دائما بنقول هابي فرايداي everyone. وعن جد يعني نهاية أسبوع دائما بنحب أنكم تقضوها معنا على قناة كنار، لأنه نحن بنعتبر المقهى الأسبوعي هو وسيلة للترفيه عن النفس بعد عناء أسبوع طويل. وبعتقد أنه يعني we earned this، هذا نحن نستحق يعني. فعامر زاهر
معنا
معنا،
واحد
بس
اسمه عامر زاهر. وين عامر؟ عامر
لابس طاقية الإخفاء يمكن.
شكله عامر.
عامر are you
عامر
like
where are you؟
oh my
اكيد
gosh
اكيد عمل فينا مقلب. وماي
right.
جاد، هيز هي.
Hi
كيفه؟
عامر.
أهلا.
كيف الصحة؟
How's everyone doing?
We
Well,
are
good.
fabulous.
Anta, how are you coping with COVID-19?
Are we allowed to curse? It's fine.
You are alive. Be careful.
Okay.
معنا غادة.
هاي
هلا يسعد مساكم.
اهلا
هاي غادة،
وسهلا.
يسعد مساكي.
شو الجماعة الحلوة؟
طبعا
عن
اليوم
جد
هو
بوجودك.
الله يسلمك حبيبتي.
اليوم مقهى، فاحنا مش اوفيشالي بدنا انتروديوس يو لانكم جايين تشربوا القهوه وشاي معنا. معكم القهوه تبعتكم؟
Yeah, أنا قهوتي Gatorade.
Gatorade? Okay, great.
ما بنقدر ننام بالليل.
The sugar or no sugar, Amir? Which one do you like? You like sugar or no sugar?
Zero.
Oh, you don't like sugar? Okay, all
غادة
right.
عندك سماعه
Good to know.
عندك سماعه؟
بدك هيدفونز؟
اذا في عندك، لانه صوتك شوي واطي.
طيب خليك ثانية بس.
خليك، انا معك. Don't worry.
So
عامر.
it's so good to see everyone. Everyone is healthy.
يعني اوكي، احسن شوي. يا
إذا كثير أحسن. هلا بعد شوي بنزل.
Somebody's smoke detector in their house. They have to put a battery in there. That's what I'm hearing. Beep. Anyone hear that?
No, I did not. I don't think it's our house because we got fed up.
It's either that or the Israelis are listening. One or the other.
I think the second one, they're always listening.
They're definitely listening.
They're always listening, dude.
أول شيء غادة، بدي أسألك سؤال. كيف أهلنا وحبايبنا العرب في مونتريال صار عليها مشاكل كتير، أو صار أعداد كتير من الكوفيد 19. نتمنى كل جماعتنا يكونوا بخير. حابين نطمن بس عليهم.
والله بشكل عام أنا يعني عندي علاقاتي مع الجالية الفلسطينية. الحمد لله إنه كل اللي سمعته شيء منيح، والحمد لله انه كله بخير. ونهار السبت عاملين مجموعه وطالعين رح نلتقي. هلا اكيد بدنا نلتزم يعني بالقوانين، انه لازم نكون يعني اقل من 10 اشخاص على كل مقعد او على كل تيبل. بس رح نلتقي ان شاء الله لاول مره هون بمونريال نهار السبت.
حلو كتير. يعني أنا صراحة بديش أكون زهقانة ومش زهقانة. إيه، عم نسمعك غادة حبيبتي، عم نسمعك. نحن بديش أكون أنا زهقانة ومش زهقانة، لكن هو فعلا يعني it's getting a little هيك شوي boring. This every day is like there's a routine that we go through. بس I wanted to see how Amir's doing out there in Michigan and Detroit and the Arab capital of the world. I mean, of the United States. Sorry.
It's good. You know, things are starting to open back up. And it is, look, when we had the lockdown, Dearborn is beautiful, okay? Dearborn is very nice. Everything Arab is here, all the Ahawi, Aragil, all the restaurants. It's a beautiful place. When everything is open, Dearborn is beautiful. It's like Disney. It's like Arab Disneyland. It's amazing. When everything is closed, It's like Oklahoma. Like,
oh no.
not very fun at all. So everything was closed for like 2 months. It's kind of like being at Disneyland and all the rides are closed. You can see them and you wish that you could go on them, but they're closed. There's no Kanafi, there's no Ergili, there's no, very hard. So it was very difficult. But now we're opening back up. And now that we've opened back up, if there's a second wave of Corona, it's going to hit Dearborn very hard. Because if anyone is going to spread Corona, it's going to be the Arabs who kiss each other 10 times every single day. And, now they told them they can go out. So, Arabs don't follow rules. You can't tell them, 6 feet and make sure you social distance and make sure you wear, like this works for like an hour. And then people just start kissing each other on the lips again. And so we're going to be getting lots of Corona. If there's just like one Corona, all of Dearborn is going to get Corona.
Well, so people, even after Corona, they still kissing each other?
Oh, yeah. Listen, look, Arabs, we are not very, listen, Jamal.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Jamal, we don't put our seatbelt on when the pilot of the plane says, put your seatbelt on. Okay? When the pilot says, put your seatbelt on, we're like, yeah, whatever. If we crash, we're going to die anyway.
Turn off your phone and we're like,
nobody turns off their phone. The flight attendant turns, what does Arabs do? When the flight attendant tells you to turn off your phone, we go. One more minute. Like we stay on the phone. So you think we're going to follow these rules because the governor said stay far away and wear your masks? We let our children sit on our lap in the car and drive the car. Okay?
Oh, yeah. That's
every Arab puts their 6-year-old child in the car in the front seat and says, go, Habibi, drive. And
oops.
We are not a rule-following people. It's just not going to happen.
I just sighed. I'm sorry. Was that too loud?
I mean, it's hitna. It's hitna, man. You can't keep Arabs out of the Ahawi and the Eragil for too long.
So what do you define that as?
We love life. We love life.
There you go.
We love life, especially Palestinians. Listen, Palestinians became refugees overnight. So you can't tell them you can't go out. We never know. It could all be taken away from us at any time.
Right? So we just enjoy the moment.
So you know what? Corona, no Corona, we don't care.
We don't care. Corona, no Corona, we're out there.
Much worse things have happened to us.
Amir, tell me how the staying home affected you as an artist.
Well, look, I mean, my job is going to events around the country and Canada and the world, and going to live events and performing in front of people and having that real connection with people, going to Palestine many times a year and performing there. And of course, all of that has stopped. And so that is very, I mean, thanks, Jamal. That's really depressing. And
he keeps reminding me that too. You know what I'm talking about, Amir,
We have a program at 7 o'clock about happiness with Reem.
Okay, well, I thought this was going to be like a happy, you're making me depressed immediately.
Come to Canada and you will receive $2,000 from the government.
Okay, yeah, I know, right?
Oh, yeah, you're running, aren't you?
I mean, this is a good time to go to Canada. But you know what the problem is? Let me tell you what the problem is with Canada. There's really only one problem, and I noticed it when I go there. You guys are nice, but you're too nice. So very weird. Nice. So this happened to me one time. I was in Edmonton. Okay, beautiful city. It's Canadian, so everyone's very nice. And when you're a comedian or an artist on the road, but especially if you're a comedian, because I don't have a band or people with me, so I'm really alone a lot of the time. So I was in the hotel and I wanted to go get something to eat because I want to go get something to eat. So here's the problem. See, in America, when we look up something on like Google, it has a rating, and you look at the rating, and the rating. But in Canada, all the ratings are like 4.8, 4.9 because everybody's too nice. So you don't really know. You're
not really getting the truth.
So I'm looking at every restaurant is 4 point. At first I thought, wow, all these restaurants must be amazing. Then I started reading the reviews and they're like, they got my food wrong. And one of the things made me sick.
Oh my God.
But everyone was so nice. And they said, sorry, 5 stars. It's too nice. So I don't know how to handle that. I'm American, okay? We're dumb and we're mean. You guys are smart and nice. And I don't know how to handle that. Okay.
But
Canada's nice.
You know what, Amir, you've been to different cities in Canada.
Correct.
Give me your opinion about which city do you see it like the most live city, like the one you would like to live in?
So I've been to Toronto many times and Mississauga many times. I live just a short drive from those places. I've been to Windsor many times, so I can tell you instantly, Windsor would not be one of the places that I want to live in. It's basically an American suburb of Detroit. So, they're like the Americans of Canada. So, and I don't like living with the Americans of America. So, Windsor would not be. Toronto is, lots of Palestinians, lots of community. Very few white people. So it seems like a great place to live. Montreal, I've been there. Montreal is a little bit more, it's a little bit more Lebanese. It's a little bit more, everyone is perfect
eyebrows.
Yeah, had their eyebrows done, and it's
Hi, غادة.
I mean, غادة is back.
I know.
By the way, Amir, sorry.
Yeah, the Arabs.
غادة is from Montreal.
Yeah, I noticed that Jamal says Montreal, like the way most people in the world says it. And of course, غادة, when she came on, she said it in the very French Arab, Montreal.
Like I don't know why the connection is bad. صرت مجربة كل زاوية بالبيت ومش عم بقدر هيك اخذ ارسال كثير منيح. So بعتذر اني ما عم بتحكي.
But we can hear you, غادة.
But هي مش سامعانا.
عامر إذا بدك علي صوتك شوي بس.
أنا صوتي عالي حبيبتي. أنا صوتي.
خلص بتحسيه إنه
عم نحكي لبناني ولا فلسطيني؟ أنا صوتي عالي.
احكي.
إذا حكيت فلسطيني حبيبتي. إذا حكينا فلسطيني مش رح يفهموا علينا.
غادة، أول شيء يسعد مساكي.
بكوننا أصلا أنا عم بحكي بكوننا نحن أصلا جالية فلسطينية أو شعب فلسطيني، كلياتنا كل واحد منا راح على بلد، فكل واحد منا ربي ببلد وب different culture و different environment، وكل واحد صار عنده الأكسنت تبعه. يعني بتلاقي فلسطينية كلنا مجموعين تحت المظلة الفلسطينية، بس كل واحد عنده لهجته، كل واحد
صحيح
عنده عاداته وتقاليده.
Definitely.
أنا أخبركم خبرية غادة تصديقا لكلامك. لما أنا كنت عايشة بلبنان كانت لهجتي لبنانية. لما نقلت على أمريكا صارت لهجتي فلسطينية.
تعلمت فلسطيني في أمريكا.
لا، وصارت لهجتي فلسطينية فلاحة كمان، يعني حكيتشم فلاحي كمان.
Yeah, we need to change. We need to make sure we work on this very hard. So for all people out there who are listening, there's many important differences between the Lebanese accent and the Palestinian accent, okay? If you want to be real, you cannot say, if you want to be really Palestinian, you can't say ما بدي. لا.
بديش. You gotta do it بالدفاش.
بديش مش ما بعرفش. It's very clear.
بس عامر هلا لما بتطلع منك بيختلف لما بتطلع من غادة. يعني انت لما تحكي لي بديش بخاف. غادة بتحكيها بلطف.
I mean, look. I don't want to interrupt her, but her connection is not.
Yeah, I think.
إذا في يمكن تفوت من التليفون على الجي بدل اللابتوب I think it would work. غادة إذا فيك تفوتي من التليفون.
We didn't test any of this. This is why we Arabs have problems. We didn't test this. Didn't make sure everything was working. I mean.
By the way, يا جماعة, Amir, he didn't test it, but غادة did. So just to let you know.
Ooh.
In the background.
I knew it would work.
غادة she froze, but خليها معنا.
بس غادة إذا if you can hear us إذا فيك تفوتي من تليفونك just be on the G network just your 4G network. I think it might work better than a laptop.
Amir, do you think Mississauga is the Dearborn of Canada?
It felt like that. Yeah, it felt like that. Although for an Arab, Dearborn is a lot easier to say than Mississauga. I don't know how they would call their family back home when they first arrived. You know, if you come to America, they say to you, you know, لوين وصلت Dearborn. It's pretty easy to say, you know. But when you get to Canada, I don't know, لوين وصلت Mrs.
Gaga.
Toronto. They just, you know, just say خلاص Toronto. Mississauga. But yeah, Mississauga is very, very similar. And there's neighborhoods that are similar, but Dearborn is something else. I mean, you come.
لوين يما وصلت. لوين يما وصلت.
Mrs. You know, but Dearborn is something totally different. Dearborn is like, you know, we have all these Arab places on top of each other. I mean, it's really, English is optional. You don't feel like you are in America. That's what I tell people sometimes. I say to people, you know, I go around and do shows in America, and then I come back home to Dearborn. You know, it is home. It is really different, but it's so beautiful. I really do love it. I mean, it's a small community. It's geographically much smaller than Mississauga. So everybody is really on top of each other, which means everybody knows each other. And you really do have the best things about Arab culture, where the hospitality and the generosity and all these things. Even if you go into a store and you know what, you forgot your wallet or you don't have money that week, it's no problem because they know you. It's like being in the village back home, which means we have, you know, the bad stuff about Arabs too, the competition and, you know, everybody has to have a nicer car than everybody else, you know, all this kind of stuff. This is how Arabs tell you where they live.
They have like the loud music and the boom boxes and the windows rolled down.
I mean, yeah, there's some of that, but I mean, but this is how Arabs tell you where they live. You know, like if you ask a white person where they live, they say, you know, you go down 5 miles and then you take a right on Maple Road, and then you take a left on Main Street, and we'll be the 3rd house on the right. It's a white house. The address is 274. You know, it's very direct. If you say to Arabs where you live in America, the directions are, you know, you're going to go like 3-4 kilo. I'm like, what the hell is a kilo? Okay, I'm American. I don't know what a kilo is. 3-4 kilo, and then you're going to see a tree, very big tree, okay? You're going to take a right, and then you're going to go down like 3 stop sign, maybe 4, I'm not sure. And then you're going to see black BMW, white Mercedes. That is my house.
Okay. that's the
we
sign.
Describe our house with our car. That's how you describe everything. You know, do you know Jamal al-Sharif? No, I don't know him. You know, he's a doctor, the guy in Canada. No, I don't know him. You know, he has like 3 kids. He's married to that. No, I don't know him. You know, the guy with the red Range Rover? Oh, yeah, Jamal. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I know Jamal. Yeah, for sure.
Amir, did you make any tours في فلسطين in comedy?
Yeah, of course. I've been, you know, I go to Palestine. I never say that I visit Palestine. I always say that I return to Palestine whenever I go there. Right. And I have been returning to Palestine doing comedy shows since 2008. And I go 2 or 3 times a year. And since 2015, I have done a comedy festival, a week-long comedy festival in Palestine, where I bring comedians, mostly Arab American comedians from America, and we go to Palestine and we do comedy shows for 1 week in Ramallah, Beit Lahem, and Jerusalem.
What language do you use there?
English. We speak in English. Look, everybody speaks English. I mean, you know, it's weird. You know, the occupation does something very weird to Palestinians, where they can't go anywhere you know, it creates them, they live, but the whole world is there, you know, so there's people from all over the world, and there's all these different world organizations, and so English is really a lingua franca of Palestine. And so,
but we're also smart people, you know.
Well, we're the most overachieving people in the history of the world. I mean, Palestinians have the highest rate of PhDs. We have the highest rate of job success. We have the highest rate of reproduction. We have all kinds of very high rates. We are overachievers. I mean, Jesus was Palestinian, okay? And he was an overachiever. I mean, he really was. And his mom, he's the most famous man in the history of the world, and he's Palestinian. And his mom is the most famous woman in the history of the world, and she's Palestinian. And these are major overachievers. This is why, by the way, this is why if you're Palestinian, it's very hard to become, because you can never be, no matter how much, no matter what I do, no matter how many views on Facebook I get, no matter how many shows, Gigi Hadid, no matter how many Instagrams she likes, she can never be the most famous Palestinian of all time. Jesus, he messed that up for everybody. He is the most famous Palestinian of all time, no question about it. And so this is the beautiful history that we have. And so, yes, we are overachievers. Everybody speaks 2 or 3 languages. For the Palestinians that live in 1948 lands, they speak 3 languages, right? And so we have become overachieving, overeducated, hyper-reproductive people, and they just can't get rid of us. And they've tried everything to get rid of us, and they cannot get rid of us, not even with this stupid annex.
Mic drop.
Yeah, not even with this stupid annex. You know, we have the highest reproductive rate in the world. I always say that they have tanks and weapons, but we have the most effective weapon in the world. And they drop, they drop bombs and we drop babies. And
we're not going anywhere.
We are not going anywhere. And they cannot get rid of us. They've tried everything. Haram, you have to feel bad for them. They've tried everything.
كلكم عرفتوا طبعا عامر بدون ما نحكي عنه، احنا ما حكينا مين هو عامر ولا حكينا شو بيشتغل، عرفتوا انه كوميديان يعني. He's one of the most famous Arab comedian في اليونايتد ستيتس، واتوقع حتى between the non-Arab comedian. We respect him. He has يعني ما شاء الله good reputation في الكوميدي، وبنشكره طبعا على وجوده معنا اليوم. بس اليوم بدي برضه
نرحب بغادة.
غادة ما صح لنا نحكي معها.
نروح الكونكشن مرتين.
يسعد مساكي كمان مرة غادة. يسعد مساكي غادة كمان مرة. مرحب فيكي بكنار تي في، يعني المقهى الأسبوعي. طبعا غادة سألناكي يمكن كيف عم بتتأقلمي مع وضع الكوفيد. كمان أنت فنانة، وطبعا يعني الفنان بيعتمد كمان على يعني it's your career. أنت يعني فنانة بتعتمدي على هالكارير كتير بحياتك. كيف عم بتعملي، كيف الكوبينج سكيلز هلا معك بهالوضع اللي نحن فيه جميعا؟
الحقيقة ما بدي أقول لك أنا مثلا ما تضايقنا مثل كل العالم متضايقة وكل العالم مخنوقة من الوضع، بس الحلو فيها إنه أخذنا بريك. أخذت يعني العالم بتكون أحيانا كل العالم عم تركض مع بعض، ويمكن لما تحسي إنه بدك استراحة حسينا إنه كل العالم عم ترتاح مع بعض. يعني ما حسيت إنه أنا قاعدة مثلا و I'm very unproductive والباقي كله عم يشتغل. يعني حسينا إنه معظمنا بذات الوضع، وصار لي زمان بغني من أنا وعمري 9 سنين، فيمكن كانت استراحة منيحة إنه الواحد يروق ويهدى ويكون في فترة إنه يفكر شو حابب يعمل، كيف يكفي حياته، ومش بس فنيا، يعني فنيا وعلى الصعيد الشغل اليومي بحياتي. كانت وقفة إنه واحد يحس إنه عم يرجع بعيد التفكير بكل شيء لازم يعمله بحياته، وبده يرجع يعيد النظر بالأولويات. فأنا أكيد. بالنسبة لي كانت فترة كتير منيحة.
أكيد. شو عم بتحضري غادة هلأ جديد؟ هل في جديد عم بيتحضر؟
والله في مجموعة هلأ بلشناها، ما صار لها زمان، مجموعة فلسطينية. شو قلتي عفوا؟
لا عم بسألك هل في شيء جديد عم بيتحضر، يعني عم ينطبخ على نار هادي مثلا؟ ايه معك غادة معك، أنا سمعتك.
أي الحقيقة في أكثر من شغلة عم تبلش. في برنامج عم بلشوا انا وشخصين تانيين، حيكون قريبا حيبلش، وحيكون اجتماعي ثقافي كمان فني، وحيكون تارجت بقلب بس مونريال، يعني مدينه مونتريال، وكل الفعاليات وكل القصص اللي بتصير بمونريال. وكمان لانه بلاقي انه في كتير فنانين حابين يعملوا كتير اشياء، بس دايما بتوقف بوجه الفنان احيانا الامور الماليه. فيك تبدعي كتير لانه بتكوني عم تقسمي وقتك، بين انه عم بيكون عم نقسم وقتنا، يعني بين انه الاولاد والعائله، وكمان انه الفواتير تبعيتك وكل الحاجات اللي نحن بحاجه نعملها. ومشان هيك جزء كبير من الفن بيبقى ما فيك تبدعي مثل قبل، لانه ما عندك، منك متفضايه 100% لموضوع انك تكوني فنانه بس. وانا كثير مش بس انه عم بحكي عن الفنانات انه الستات، عم بحكي كمان صحيح. اكيد عن الفنانين اللي هن الرجال.
لو انا كثير بتفهمك بهالموضوع اكيد 100%، لانه انا ام يعني كمان، وبعرف قديش حجم المسؤوليه لما تكوني مثلا عم بتسافري او عندك تحضير لحفله او لتسجيل، وبيكون في عندك مسؤوليات عم تستناكي. يعني
اصعب لانه عندك ولاد، ولما تطلعي كمان بيكون في احساس كبير بالذنب، وبدك تتركي الولد، بيبقى كمان في احساس كتير كبير عند الام ذنب لما تشتغل.
فعلا قصبتي.
يمكن حدا معبيه، لانه ما حدا يمكن عم بحسها بالذنب، بس نبقى نحن هيك.
لا هو هذا ضمير، هذا ضمير الام، بعتقد هذا ضمير الام
بالذنب لما نروح ونترك اولادنا ونروح نشتغل وحابين نعمل.
صح، قصبتي فعلا، قصبتي غادة بهالنقطه بالصميم.
انا محضر لكم اغنيه لغادة يمكن تزغزغ مشاعركم شوي.
انا عن جد اعتذر من الكل. بس
فكرة الأغنية كتير حلوة عن جد.
يا للأسف غادة عندها مشكلة في الكونكشن، إنه لكن إن شاء الله بنوعدكم نستضيفها مرة ثانية، كل لقاء بدون عامر هيك بننبسط معها بس. عامر، من أحد الكوميديز اللي you spoke about اللترز في العربيك لانجوج. عامر، أهلك لما سموك عامر كانوا عارفين دينو إنه رح تروح على أمريكا وتصير كوميديان والناس؟
No, we thought that. So I was born in Jordan, and we were supposed to live in Jordan, and my dad was a little bit of a political activist, so we got kicked out of Jordan, and we ended up in America. But
I don't think he was too little of an activist then.
Yeah, just a little bit. So we ended up in America, and so I'm Amir, and my brother, who was born in Jordan too, he's Imad. Okay. And then my sisters are much easier for Salma and Layla. They're named after my grandmothers. So it was very simple eventually. But look, it was a weird, I think having a weird name is good in America or Canada. You want, I beg all Arabs in America and Canada, give your kids Arabic names. Don't give them white names so they can fit in, because this is not good. A kid needs to have a weird name so he understands that he's different, so he talks about that difference. Yes, it might cause a little problem for him every now and then, but that's okay. He needs to know that if you name a little Arab kid like, Andrew, he's not going to know that he's different, Let him know that he's different. And I love how Arabs think they're saving that. I meet, it's usually like Syrian, Lebanese, sometimes Palestinian. They'll give their kids white names because they think it's going to help them fit in. Like, this is my daughter, Samantha. Like, okay. Well, you think that's going to help her? Her name is Samantha Tawfiq Abdul Majid. You think that's going to help her? They think it's going to help her. But no. But now not all Arabs do that. Yemenis, they don't do. We have a big Yemeni community here. And they don't give their, I love Yemenis because they are I don't think there's a lot of Yemenis in Canada, but there's a lot of Yemenis here in America. And they are the original Arabs. I mean, they don't change their name. They don't change their culture. Like there was like in my neighborhood, there was like a 6-year-old Yemeni kid walking around. And I said to him, "What's your name?" And he said, "Abdul Hakim Abdul Majid al-Basit Abdul Samir." I was like, wow, damn. All right, you're going to be very proud of your culture for sure. you're never going to get a job, but you will be very proud of your culture. And we have to stop doing that. So I loved having a weird name. It always was a story for me. And you know, tell your kids what their name means. Make sure. So, and don't let them, you know, and a lot of people, I don't know if they do it in Canada too. A lot of people do it here. Like they also change their name. So Muhammad becomes Mo, or, you know, Jamal becomes Jimmy, or, you know.
Nasreen never changed her name, by the way. I've been called all sorts of like horrific, like Listerine. Yeah. And I never changed that.
Just don't change your names. I mean, you know, just people, Fatima becomes Faye, and they think it helps them fit in. Just stop, you know, stop. Don't change your name. We have to learn their hard white names, so they have to learn our names. Their names aren't easy. They're confusing too. Tyler, Taylor, Mason, Madison, Brittany, Whitney. It's confusing. So we have to learn their names. They have to learn our names. Those are the rules, okay? And so don't change your names, all you Arabs out there. If your name is Muhammad, be Muhammad. If your name is Jamal, be Jamal. If your name is Fatima, be Fatima. If your name is Jihad, be Jay. Because we have
but you know, Amir, this brings me to another question, you know, but don't you think that a lot of people are just afraid to be discriminated at because of their name, because of their foreign sounding name?
Listen, your name.
Let's talk about that, you know, frankly.
Arabs have a problem of being discriminated against. Your name is never going to shield you from that. It's never going to shield you. So Jamal al-Sharif, if he names his daughter Samantha al-Sharif, you think that's gonna, you know, and she's darker than the other kids, and one day they're gonna meet her dad who has an accent. Like, you can't hide that you're Arab. It's not going to work, you know? So you might as well be out there with it, because when you try to hide it from other people, you're also hiding it from yourself. And so there's going to be some internal consequences to that.
You're right.
And so if you're not even getting the external benefit, which you're not going to get, eventually they're going to find out you're Arab. They might not find out in the first 2 minutes, but they're eventually going to find out. And so you're going to suffer that discrimination no matter what. And now you've spent all this time pretending that you don't have an Arab name. And now Ghada's back for the 7th time. And now we're going to do this again. And let's just put on another video for Ghada. And I'll sit back. You guys let me know. No.
Ghada, thank you for being...
last time, I promise. إذا هيدي المرة ما زبطت خلص. أنا مرة تانية إن شاء الله بيجي معكم.
إن شاء الله. أنت بتشرفينا دائما، وعامر بشرفنا دائما. كنا بنحكي عن الأسماء العربية. احكي لنا أنت عن الأغاني العربية. أنت من المغنيات اللي يعني غنوا التراث بشكل جميل، وأعطوا يعني أنا بحكي نكهة، خاصة في نورث أمريكا أعطيتي نكهة، وذكرتي المهاجر العربي بالروتس تبعته، في البلد تبعته، بكل أغنية، بكل حرف بتغنيه على المسرح. احكي لنا شو شعورك على المسرح.
أنا ربيت ببيت كان يعني كل بيتنا كانوا بيحبوا الطرب، إن كان من البابا لأخواتي الشباب والصبايا، كلنا كنا بنحب الموسيقى، وكنا معظمنا كمان بنحب الطرب. يعني ربيت على أغاني أكيد بدون ذكر ألقاب، يعني الموسيقار مثلا محمد عبد الوهاب، لكريم محمود، لعبد الحليم، للفنانة وردة جزائرية، وأم كلثوم، وناظم الغزالي، يعني كل هالأسماء الحلوة. فربيت أكيد يعني لما بتكون أنت متشربة من أنت وصغير، أكيد القصص يعني بتدخل بإحساسك أكتر من إنك عم تغنيها أو عم تسمعها أنت وصرت يعني أكبر. فربينا على أغاني التراث، وبلشت أدرس. كان عمري تقريبا 9 سنين، والدتي دخلتني على الكونسرفاتوار، فبلشت أدرس موشحات أندلسية ونغمات عربية وشرقية. وفيما بعد لما وصلنا على كندا كان عمري تقريبا 15 سنة، كمان درست موسيقى بالجامعة، وكنت دايما بميل أكتر للأغاني الشرقية، يعني الأرباع. أكيد نسرين تعرف شو عم بحكي وهيك
طبعا.
فالنغمات الشرقية أكتر وهيك. فهيدي الشغلة كنت دايما معروفة إنه صوتي يعني معروف أكتر، بميل للشرقية، في عرب أكتر، وبحب الأغاني التراثية، بس بحب غني كل شيء. يعني ما بحب إنه
صحيح. أنت فعلا شمولية. يعني اللي بيسمعك غادة دائما
يعني
بيسمعك عم بتغني بكذا لون. ماما دائما بتقول لي كانت شغله كثير حلوه.
أنا بحبه، يعني بحس انه انت قادره تعطي لون انه ليه ما تعطيه، مع انه في ناس كتير بيحسوا انه لا ما انت صوتك كتير حلو بالطرب، لا ليش عم تغني مواويل لبنانيه او مواويل بدها صوت قوي؟
بالعكس هذا شيء بيثبت جدارتك.
غني الموال وبقدر غني كمان.
انا كنت بدي احكي، انا بدي اطلب طلب منك.
اكيد اغانينا الوطنيه والسياسيه. عفوا.
انا كنت بدي اطلب منك طلب لاخواننا اللي بيسمعونا من لبنان، تعطينا موال جبلي لبناني، لاني انا سمعت منك مواويل يعني بتهز المشاعر.
جبلي ايه اوكي. المدام القلب مدام القلب عم يخفق مساكن، يا بيت بعدك غيرك مساكن. المدام القلب عم يخفق مساكن، يا بيت بعهدك غيرك مساكين. الودني وكل شي فيها ساكن، ما بتسوى من أرض الوطن حفنة تراب يا بايا يا باي. والمجد معمرها بالعز مزنرها، المجد معمرها بالعز مزنرها. عياني 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 عالريح وتضوي ناطرها. زرعنا تلالك يا بلادي زرعناها قلوب، ونشرنا الجو الهادي عدروب دروب. مثل الكعب الوادي غني.
الكونكشن يمكن عند غادة راح. راح
نزرع بك.
بعتقد الكونكشن. So Amir, tell me.
Amir.
I got a question for him, Dr. Jamal. I got a question for you, Amir. So in Ghada's family, she was talking about how everybody loved tarab and they loved to sing. So in your family, who's the comedian?
You know, you know, I would say my dad always told stories and we had a good time and he's a very lively person. My mom too, you know. But you know, we've always had fun. By the way, we have a lot of musicians in our family too. I mean, it's just you know, it's. But you know, comedy and storytelling is part of Arab culture anyway. You know, and that's what comedy is. It's storytelling, really, ultimately. Right. And so, you know, but I don't think art is genetic anyway. I don't think it is.
But I've heard you singing, and I would like you to sing something tonight for us.
Oh,
I've heard you previously.
Okay, one second.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
He went to get
Amir.
He went to get the oud. I think he went to get the oud. I know what he's doing. No, one time, Amir and I were performing in the same, you know, event. And I didn't have anybody to accompany me on the oud, and I was like, oh my goodness. Somebody told me Amir plays the oud. I'm like, ooh, how am I going to approach him now? So I did, and he accompanied me on the oud. He was nice enough to do so. Wow. So yeah, Amir. Oh yeah. See, what did I tell you, Dr. Jamal? شو حكيت لك؟
Okay. So, but put me on the screen where I can see the two of them. I want to see the two of them. Okay. So Jamal and Nasreen, I love Arabic music. I've always been a musician. So when I was a good little American kid, I played the trombone.
Okay.
And then when I was like 15, I asked my dad to buy me a oud, and now I've been playing the oud for a very long time. Okay. And so some of the first songs I learned was for Abdul Halim. And I love Abdul Halim.
All right.
And but when I hear the songs, I hear them in Arabic and I sing in Arabic, but then sometimes I think of the words in English because I speak English too, and I translate them in my head, and then sometimes I sing them kind of weird too. But anyway, so let's sing a song together, Jamal. I think Nasreen has heard it before, but Jamal, we'll sing a song together, okay?
Yeah.
You know the song, very famous song for Abdul Halim called Sawah.
سواح طبعا.
Tourist. And walking in the land, tourist. And the step between me and my lover is far. A long walk and in it I'm lonely. And the night got closer. والليل قرب. And the night got closer. And the day went home, 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 tourist. And walking in the land, tourist. And the step between me and my lover is far. A long walk and in it I'm lonely. And the night got closer. And the day went home. If my lover found you, please tell him that I said hi. If my lover found you, please tell him that I said hi. طمنوني الأسمراني عاملة إيه الغربة فيه. طمنوني الأسمراني عاملة إيه الغربة فيه. طمنوني الأسمراني عاملة إيه الغربة فيه. تورست وأنا ماشي ليالي، تورست وأنا داري بحالي. تورست من الفرقة يا غالي، تورست إيه اللي جرالي. And the years and the years and the years وأنا دايب شوق وحنين، عايز أعرف بس الطريق. From
where?
If my lover found you, please tell him that I said hi. Together. If
my love
found you,
please tell him that I said
hi.
طمنوني الأسمراني عاملة إيه الغربة فيه.
يا عيني عليك. تعرف أبدعت.
Oh my gosh. How did that even cross your mind, Amir? I don't know, man. Like, what were you thinking? Seriously?
I don't know. I mean, I translate all kinds of Arabic songs all the time. You know, sometimes, you know.
What was the corniest one you translated? The corniest. Oh, God.
Oh my lover.
كلثوم.
Oh my lover. The night and the sky and the stars and the moon and staying up late. Me and you, oh my lover, you, oh my life, you. Both of us in love together. And the wind, أهو منه الwind الهواء. And the wind, أهو منه الwind, أهو منه الwind. سهران الهوى يسقينا الهنا ويقول بالأنا. Oh my lover, come on, let's live in the eyes of the night. Come on, let's live in the eyes of the night. And we say to the sun, come here after a year, not before a year. It is a beautiful night, 1,001 nights, 1,001 nights, 1,001 nights. بكل العمر هو العمر اللي غير ليلة زي الليلة زي الليلة ليلة زي الليلة.
الله الله.
أنا رح أستأذنكم بس يعني شوي لأنه في I think we're under a severe weather warning. صفارات الإنذار عم تطلع. Just give me about maybe 20 seconds just to check on my family, guys. Sorry.
Don't fly. Stay home.
Thank you so much. Just give me a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Don't worry. Tornado. يا جماعة.
Where is she? Is she in Toronto or where is she?
No. She's in Dallas.
Oh, she's in America. Oh, that's why.
She's in America. That's happening in America. We don't have these things in Canada.
No. America has a lot of problems. We have earthquakes, tornadoes, Trump. It's very, very dangerous. White people, a lot of white people. We have a lot more white people than you do. So yeah.
Listen, I would like to read the comments with you. There are some comments good for you. So الحج أبو مؤيد بقول لك الله عليك. طبعا في دكتور محمود الصوص. He was with us yesterday. We talked about the back pains. So he's now say بلا وجع ظهر بلا هم. Let's go with him, Kalthum. Ahmad, he wrote you a nice comments. I would like you to read it.
Yeah.
You know him?
No.
He's a follower. Here it is.
Yeah.
He said, Amr, I'm a wedding DJ, Sinner. Your video, how to dance at an Arabic wedding, is something I show to every couple that says we do not know how to dance.
Yes.
Thank you for all your miraculous videos you made. You are a true inspiration with your videos and Facebook posts. Wishing you tons of success.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. I love you, man. Thank you so much.
By the way, tell us about the book you wrote.
Yeah, I wrote a book called Being Palestinian Makes Me Smile. It is sort of a collection of articles and blog posts I wrote about growing up in America as Palestinian, watching the news all the time. You know, because as you know, Arabs, we just watch the news all the time. That's what we do. You know, we don't do anything else. We invite our friends over and we watch the news. So, we watch the news because we're on it. That's the TV show where we see ourselves. So we watch the news and, that's where I get a lot of my comedy from, is just real life and watching the news and seeing what's going on all the time. And, like in America. And so my book talks a lot about that, from a Palestinian point of view. But, in America, the news is so crazy, because we have crazy things happening. We have mass shootings all the time in America and just crazy things. And, for some reason, whenever it's always a white guy, and they always go to his neighborhood and they always ask his neighbors about him, and his neighbors always say the same thing. They always say, "We're so shocked by this. This is such a surprise to us. We never thought that he would do that." And no one ever says that about an Arab. Like if an Arab does if an Arab does something crazy, his neighbors don't say this is such a shock. His neighbors will say, yeah, he was talking about doing that for a long time. We're surprised it took him this long before he did it. So I mean, it's just different the way they treat us and the way they treat white people. So the news is something that I always watch and I always get sort of inspiration from to write, whether it's my book or to do comedy on stage and all that kind of stuff. So that's what the book is about just sort of my observations in life as a Palestinian Arab American. And I'm writing another book right now about Arab Americans called We're Not White, or Where Are You From? I haven't decided what I'm going to make the title yet.
Where are you from? Okay.
This is a joke.
Well, I
12 years because that's what people say to me. They say, "Oh, Amr, that's a funny name. Where are you from?" And I say, "I'm from Michigan." And they say, "No, where are you from?"
From, yeah.
Where are you really from? And this is how white people find out where you're really, really from. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a funny story.
How are you doing? How's
we're
the family?
fine. It was just a siren that we have for a severe thunderstorm, warning, but we're good.
It's just Texas, Jamal. Texas.
The roof is still there. We're fine.
Texas is the craziest place in America. You got to go there. It's like a whole other country.
Texas. Okay,
it's Mexico, basically. Okay, Texas is the place. Listen, Jamal, if you want to know anything about how crazy Americans are, how delusional they are, Texas is a place where you find white people telling Mexicans that the Mexicans should not be allowed to live in a place called San Antonio.
but I got a better one for you too.
Name that place.
But they'll have Tex-Mex food. But they have Tex-Mex food. That's where it gets me, really.
Oh yeah, listen, white people are always, it's just the same thing happens with us. Don't the Israelis say, "We don't want any Palestinians here, but come and taste our hummus"? It's the same stuff. Same thing.
So, في سؤال لك عامر. Nadia, she said you are too funny, so funny.
You single? I mean, sorry. Go ahead.
Can you cook?
You just never change.
Very good cook.
Very good cook.
Yes, I actually.
Nadia, she's hosting a cooking program. So maybe she can host you cooking something.
Oh, I love talking about.
You have an awesome recipe for hummus. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I have two recipes. I have a recipe for Palestinian hummus, and I have a recipe for Israeli hummus. The recipe for Palestinian hummus is okay. You soak the chickpeas, then you boil the chickpeas. You make sure you boil them a lot, and then I usually go 2-to-1 chickpeas to tahini, lots of lemon juice, a little bit of salt, no garlic. There's no garlic in hummus, by the way. Garlic is not supposed to go in hummus. And then you top it with a little bit of hab hummus and some zayt zaytoun min al-blad, and it tastes very delicious. And this is Palestinian hummus. Now, the recipe for Israeli hummus is a lot easier. You just find a Palestinian who has already made Palestinian hummus, and then you kick him out of his house, and then you say, "This is Israeli hummus." It's much easier.
And the pun is intended.
Yeah. Look, there is this is, my mom has always said, I'm sure she didn't come up with it, but my mom has always said about Palestine, when people talk about, oh, the Israelis have a successful civilization and my mom says, bas akhaduha mafrushi. Like Palestine was a living civilization. Right. We had a very strong civilization, and they used force and violence to kick us out. But of course, they didn't. Do you know why they like hummus? Because the hummus was there already before they got there. Do you know why they? Do you know why the airport that they call Tel Aviv Airport? Do you know why it is where it is? Because we already had an airport there. It's called Matar al-Lid. We already had it there.
Matar al-Lid.
This is, yeah, go ahead.
You have some questions from our viewers right now.
Sure.
Any plans for Amir to come to Toronto? And when is Amir coming to Toronto? And another one says, what's going on here? and here's another one. You will never get old, man.
Wait, that was a comment? I will never get old?
No, that's what they're telling. Yes, that's what they're telling you.
Yeah.
Well, since I know Amir, he's
though?
the same. What's your recipe for staying young?
Don't get married.
Is that the right one?
I mean, look, I don't know if that's why I've stayed young, but
I went from this to this.
I mean, I know that I've tried to stay young, and I think I've done a pretty good job at it. And I also know that I've never gotten married. Now, are these two things related to each other? I don't know. You're the doctor. You can tell me. I mean, everyone says get married, get married. ليش الناس بيحكوا اتجوز؟ ليش الناس بتحكي بالجيزي كأنه مشروع ناجح ومشروع بنشوف كل I mean, half of the people get divorced. It's like,
but the other half, they live happy. So you have to
try.
They
don't. The other half just don't get divorced. That doesn't mean they're happy.
Oh, Jesus.
Who was also Palestinian. Jesus was Palestinian too. And he never got married, and he was very successful.
You know, one time I heard something that said, لو عايزة تبقي جميلة ما تتجوزيش. لو عايزة تبقي جميلة.
I don't know if these things are related, but I do know. Listen, this is what I know. I know that when you get married to someone, you have to spend time with them all the time. Okay? You can all your free time, all the time.
Especially during the COVID-19 time.
All of the time.
27.
Amir, have you heard about the divorce rates going up during the COVID-19 crisis? I'm hearing a lot of stories.
After COVID-19, when the lawyers' offices open back up, oh my God, all kinds of divorce. Like right now, things are opening back up in Dearborn. It's only been open for a week. So we're still in the phase where everybody is just going to the salon and getting their eyebrows done because they haven't been able to do that for 3 weeks. It's been very dangerous out here. It's really looked like, you ever see the Michael Jackson video Thriller?
Oh God.
It's looked like Thriller out here, just everyone walking around with one eyebrow for like, it's really, really disgusting. So I've not gone out for a while, but then when the lawyer's office is open, oh yeah, divorce. I mean, look, here's the thing. People talk about this. Okay, Jamal, are you married?
Yep, sure.
How long have you been married?
15 years.
Okay, and what's your wife's name?
Bonita.
Bonita. Is she Arab?
No.
Okay. So Bonita, here's the thing, Jamal, what scares me. If you ask people who have been married for a long time how they met, and sometimes if they're Arabs, that's their cousins, which that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we marry our cousins we do that because, they're coming from a good family. But if you ask Jamal and Bonita how they met, it never sounds good for the man. If you're a man, the answer to that is never good. If you ask them how they met, Jamal will say what men said. The first time I saw Bonita, she was the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life, ever, forever. And I knew I wanted to be with her forever. Okay, and then you ask Bonita, and you say to Bonita, where's Bonita from?
China.
You say to Bonita, tell us about the first time you met Jamal. And Bonita will say, well, the first time I met Jamal, I never thought I would end up with somebody like that.
It's true, man.
But he grew on me like a disease. He grew on me. And here we are. Okay? And that is the best thing she's ever going to say about you. And you just have to live with that. And women say this stuff like, that's a very mean thing to say, women. But they say this stuff just, I never really thought I would end up with somebody like him. But Rihanna, but a man has to say she was the most. When I saw her, she was the most beautiful.
You're right, man.
We have to say that. Now it's true, but we have to say that. So we do not get the same treatment. I don't know if I'm prepared for that.
Well, what's Amir's like if you were to ever, get hitched? Is that a good way to say it? Get hitched? So like, what would Amir's wife be like? A comedian? No. More serious?
No, I don't care if she's a comedian. I don't know. I don't care about that. I look, first of all, obviously the basic stuff. You want somebody smart and independent. You want somebody who wants to be with you, not who has to be with you. And that goes both ways, men and women,
Right.
But you want someone who is, and I definitely need someone who's Arab, and I probably need someone who's Palestinian, because we Palestinians, 70 years of occupation really messes you up mentally. Okay. And the only people that understand that are other Palestinians.
What if she can't make hummus?
That you can teach somebody. That's not a big deal. But the psychological trauma of 70 years of occupation is something that, it's like two crackheads when they get together. They don't judge each other. They understand the experiences of each other. So
my God, the example.
for instance, if I was married to a Palestinian woman and I'm standing in the kitchen one day and I'm holding a cup of coffee and I'm just standing and I'm looking out the window and I'm just sort of staring out the window and I haven't said anything for like an hour, like a crazy person. I'm just staring out the window. And then all of a sudden I just say, Kalab. Now she knows what I'm talking about, the Palestinian. She doesn't think there's dogs outside. She doesn't think I'm hallucinating. The Palestinian woman, she comforts you. She says, yes, habibi, ma'alish, klab, they are a klab. Don't worry.
لا وبتزيد. Like she might even add some more salt and pepper.
In any case, she understands.
Yes.
And, this is something that I think, because I'm a very damaged Palestinian like all the rest of us. And so, you need someone who so I think it would have to be at least someone who understands that. But, we have another problem now where I'm 42. I'm going to be 43 on Monday. And I'm 42 and I'm not married. So, my mom just, she believes I'm gay. She has no other, there's no other reasons anymore. She just thinks I'm gay and there's nothing else. Like she calls me. And so my mom called me like 3 years ago. You know how when your mom calls you and it's not going to be a good conversation. So she called me and she said, and she said, hi, Amir. I said, hi, Mom. And she said,
that's the good beginning.
Yeah, this is very bad.
Oh man, you got to hear that from a mother.
And she said to me, Amir, I am your mother. And I said, okay. She said, you can tell me anything. I said, okay. She said, no matter what it is, I will love you. I will accept you. I said, okay. She said, are you gay? Just tell me. Just tell me. Now she treats me like, you ever watch those TV shows with the police when they try to trick the suspect into confessing?
Into confession?
Yeah. This is now what she does with me. She plays these tricks. No, this is what she does in the scene. She goes, you will feel better when you tell me.
But if you tell her,
you will feel better. عشانك مش عشاني. عشانك انت. You will feel better when you tell me. Now she calls me and she says, Amir, are you dating any girls? And I said, no. She says, others? Others. I said, no. And when you go to Palestine, then it's very confusing. And this is the last thing I'll say. It's very hard in Palestine. Jamal, where did you grow up?
Jordan.
Jordan is the same way. It's very hard in Palestine or Jordan to be a single heterosexual man. It's very difficult to be a single heterosexual man from America. Let me tell you why, Jamal. Because in America, if a man and a woman are walking down the street holding hands, that's very normal. if two men are walking down the street holding hands, it's kind of weird. Back home, if a man and a woman are walking down the street holding hands, it's kind of weird. If two men are walking down the street holding hands, it's totally normal. Okay? So I didn't know that because I'm American. So I'm walking down the street with a friend of mine in Jerusalem, and he wants to talk to me, so he grabs my hand. But I'm American. So I said, hey, man, stop it. He said, no, it's okay. I said, it's not okay. Don't touch me. He said, no, you can hold my hand. I said, I don't want to hold your hand. And then Jamal, he gave me the most Arab answer I've ever heard in my life. He said, come on, hold my hand. What's wrong? Are you gay?
See, I was trying to get a sip of water and I just didn't want to chance it.
So I held his hand. You know, I mean, what are you going to do? So I held his hand and I started kissing him too, just so everybody knows.
Oh my gosh.
So you have another questions from Muthanna.
Okay.
He said he's in Iraq now. He said you are big high man. What is your personal dream? It's a serious question, man.
I'll tell you, my personal dream is right now to do a show in Gaza. I have so many fans and people there, and of course we can't get in, and we're so disconnected from our 2 million brothers and sisters in Gaza.
I agree with you.
So if I can sneak in, I don't care. Swim in, I don't care. But I want to go there and do a show because I know our people as so much, you know, look, we are such a happy and peaceful people, even for everything we've been through. We are such a happy and loving and peaceful people. And we love each other so much. And it makes me sad that there's these 2 million of us that are so just disconnected from everybody else. And so a dream of mine is to go do a show in Gaza, and I'm actually working hard every day to try to make that happen.
Inshallah, you will get it. Wish you all the best, and maybe you can find your other half in Gaza. You never know, and stay there. Because if you get in, you won't go out.
That's okay. I'll stay in Gaza for the rest of my life. They have a lot of good food there, and they eat shatta with everything.
Yes,
it's the dugga, right? It's the dugga. It's the dugga. It's called dugga.
I have a Palestinian friend here in Michigan from Gaza. We went out somewhere. He put shatta on shatta. Okay, like the shatta they brought him was not good enough, so he went to his bag. He had more shatta. He put shatta on shatta. Like, this is how obsessed Gazawi are.
Yes, they love it. You're right. Do you have any story with knafa?
No, except, you know, Palestinian kanafi is the real kanafi. There is no other kanafi. You know, I don't know if you know this, but the Lebanese people, they eat kanafi in a sandwich.
You know, I used to do that. I did. I'll confess. I used to eat kanafi in a sandwich, go into my music conservatory every day when I would go, before I would go to Beirut, I would just grab it in a sandwich and I would eat it. Don't guilt trip me. I mean, I did it. Okay, I confess.
I've had it and it tastes good. But you know, that's not kanafi.
It's not the real deal, right?
Plate, you pick it up, and you have all the cheese. You know, you put it in a sandwich. Now it's a sandwich. You know, Lebanese, they put everything in sandwich. You can't put kanafi in a sandwich. So that's what I have to say.
I agree with you. I don't know. I don't like it in the sandwich. So what is your favorite food?
Bamia.
Wow.
Seriously?
Yes.
Like with لحمة or no لحمة?
مع لحمة طبعا. بامية مع لحمة. أنا مبين عليكي vegetarian حبيبتي. بامية مع.
I mean, I threw that in there. I didn't know if you were going to take the bait.
I mean, I'll eat it without meat too, but I mean, I love it with meat. Look, bamia is such a traditional Palestinian dish.
I used to hate it when I was a kid. Ugh.
Bamia, especially when, you know, Jamal, especially when it's like slimy, slimy bamia.
The slime in it.
It's just coming off the fork. You know, it has its own matta, the bamia, you know. Bamia is delicious to me. And look, my mom, I was very lucky. My mom is a great cook and she really loves the traditions of Palestinian food. And people out there, should actually join her on Instagram.
Yeah,
My
I love your mom, Amir.
Is Anan Zahar on Instagram.
I love your mom.
Yeah, I love her too. And she posts about Palestinian food all the time. So I grew up in a house where we were having Arabic Palestinian food every day. Bamiyeh, mlokhiyeh, ma'lubi, all the time. Now, every now and then, my mom would make like American food, but she would always put like a little like Palestinian twist on it where it would mess it all up. You know, like because you have a lot of Arabic food. And then one day I came home and I said, Mom, what are you making today? And she says, spaghetti and meatballs. And I was like, yes, we're going to have spaghetti and meatballs. This is so cool. And then we sat down for dinner and I'm eating the spaghetti and meatballs. And I'm like, Mom, I don't think that they put hummus in spaghetti and meatballs. And she's like, I just want to change it up a little bit, make it a little unique, change it. I'm like, now she messed up spaghetti and meatballs.
Just like the idra, there's hummus in the idra,
Yeah, I mean,
she's got the hummus in the spaghetti.
So she said, I just want to. But this is what you deal with as an Arab kid in America.
I know you had a really funny one too. You talked about allspice.
She used to put hale and allspice in the marinara sauce, and I'm like, Mom, I don't think at Olive Garden they put hale in the tomato sauce. But I mean, this is, but and my lunches at school the next day were always different. The white kids had like nice white bread with peanut butter and jelly and a little bag of chips and a little juice box. Okay, you know what my mom gave me? Have you ever had a ma'lube sandwich? Okay.
No.
My mom gave me.
No way.
Oh yeah, Jamal, whatever was for dinner the night before magically turned into a sandwich the next day in my lunch bag.
So what does that smell like when you open the ma'lube sandwich?
Yeah.
What does that smell like when you open that?
I explain when your mom gives you like a little bowl of mlokhiyeh that you take to lunch. The kids are like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Leaves." Leaves. It's very good.
By the way, there is no English name for mlokhiyeh, yes?
Yeah, there is.
There is no English name for mlokhiyeh. It's molokhiyeh.
They call it like mallow, Joe, I don't know, some word.
No, I know the name. It's called Jews Mellow.
Yeah, Jews mallow. So I won't.
Okay, I've seen it in the market here everywhere. They write it molokhiyeh.
It's Jews Mellow.
I mean, they're making, because they don't have that. In America, they don't look. In America, and I don't know, Canada, they don't really have food. Okay, this is why they have something called the Food Network. Okay, because they're like amazed by anyone who can cook. Oh my God! Have you ever watched the Food Network? People who taste things, they go, "What is this? Oh, salt! Wow, there's salt in this." They're so amazed. Arab moms are watching the Food Network and like, why is this interesting? Why is
yeah?
There's nothing. They give like $10,000 for cooking that. Like
my mom said something. It's called "Ish hada al-ghawis."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you watch them, they taste this like, what is this? What did you do? And they're like, well, I put garlic in it.
No.
Oh, really? You put garlic in it? That's amazing. We're Arabs, you open up the spice cabinet and there's like 75 spices in there, and there's a few plants in there, and there's like all these things like and
and we're always growing something out there in the garden. There's always something growing.
At least Bandora and Nana, at least.
Right.
At least. About doing this, and my mom used to send us out to pick stuff every day, and the neighbors would look and be like, "Look at these Arabs! They make their kids work every day outside." And I'm like, "No, we're picking." My mom would say, "Go outside and get the Nana." This is very.
I will tell you a story about Nana. Maybe you can use it later. When I studied in China, I used to live in the dormitory. A Palestinian guy who came to China before me 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And he brought Nana with him, and he planted in the garden of the dormitory. Yeah. Well, Nana, it expands everywhere.
That's correct.
So you can find it almost everywhere in the university, which have 100,000 students. You can imagine how big the university. Yes. That's because one guy who brought it 20 years ago to make Nana with tea.
Look, being Palestinian, I've said this, and I say this in my book, being Palestinian is contagious. It's a contagious disease, even more than COVID. And we spread it everywhere. Like, look, I don't know your wife, but I know that when you got married, she became more Palestinian. You didn't become more Chinese. She became more Palestinian, because this is what we do. We are very I feel bad for other people from other cultures.
We're overpowering.
Yeah, I mean, they want to celebrate their culture. We're like, no, actually now you're a refugee and you are now part of our culture, and you have to understand the pain. And next year in Jerusalem, you're like, all right, calm down. Everybody calm down.
Oh, Amir.
Amir, I don't know. It was a nice night with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody is asking about الكنافة. مروة بتقول لك في مصر كنافة بكل نكهة دلوقتي. كنافة بالمانجا، كنافة بالنوتيلا، كنافة بالعجوة، كنافة بالقشطة.
لا يا جماعة، لا يا جماعة، لا يا جماعة.
لا
لا
لا.
This is like the white people in America who make like hummus. They say black bean hummus, or they say
burger.
Chocolate chip hummus,
or veggie burger.
Or I mean, veggie burger is something else, but this is like they figure they can just make anything that looks like hummus and call it hummus. It doesn't work like that. الكنافة عبارة عن عجين وسمنة وجبنة. كنافة بالمانجو. شو عم تحكوا يا جماعة؟ كنافة بالعجوة، كنافة بالعجوة كعكة بعجوة، مش كنافة بعجوة.
صح.
So yeah, we hit the wrong chord here, right?
I mean, I'm very territorial about our food.
Like كنافة. Leave my كنافة alone, right?
كنافة. إيش قالت؟ كنافة بالمانجو؟
بالمانجو. يس.
لا يا حبيبتي، لا حبيبتي، لا. You know, Palestinians, that's how messed up we are. When we use the word habibti, it's always negative. لا حبيبتي, لا.
Yeah.
لا يا حبيبتي.
Nisreen, do you have anything for Amir?
I just wanted to ask Amir, you know, kind of wrap it up a little bit, but where do you see things going right now with the whole COVID crisis? If things don't get better, where do you see it going from? Like, how are people going to adapt? What is your take on that? Like, are you optimistic? Are you pessimistic about it? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Look, I think when this first happened, my dad said it the best. He said, you know, he said to me, Amir, we used to think that if you get sick, that's your problem. Now we understand if you get sick, that's my problem. So hopefully we have learned more about our interconnectedness, and that all of us on this planet are connected to each other in ways that we didn't imagine. And I hope enough of us take that out. So obviously our lives are going to change in physical ways. You know, we'll wear more masks, We'll be more careful. There might be temperature checks, but I hope it also changes in moral ways where we more understand that all of us are linked. That means our struggles are linked. That means our health is linked. That means if you don't have a job, that affects me. If your mom is hungry or sick, that affects me. If my dad is not able to get his medicine, that affects you. All of us are connected. And when we, especially as Americans, we have a problem thinking this way. If we start to think this way, then I think we'll all be better off. And hopefully that's part of the silver lining from this whole COVID thing.
But do you think as Arabs, we're going to miss the hugging and kissing of each other?
We're not going to stop hugging and kissing each other. No, we're not going to miss it because we're not going to stop. You know, it's just not going to happen. So I mean, we are look, like I said, we're not very good at following directions, and we'll see what happens. But luckily, our culture has always been one where we are connected to each other. And you know, that's one of the problems with sort of like Western individualism. Like, okay, you can go be very successful and you can get some money, but you get disconnected sometimes from society and community. And that really hit home for me with a story one time last year. I was in Seattle, Washington, doing a show. And Seattle is a city, a very liberal, progressive city, and they have like a lot of homeless people, and there's homeless camps in the city. And there was a woman from Gaza who had just come from Gaza visiting America. and we were a group of us walking around, and she was walking around, and you know, Gaza is a war-torn place, lots of poverty, not a lot of opportunity. And she said to me, "What is this?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "What is all these homeless people?" You know, and imagine she comes from Gaza, which has a lot of problems, but homelessness is not one of them. When you allow homeless people, that is a society allowing that and not taking care of all these people. And that's part of the individualism gone too far. So hopefully now we realize that we're all connected a little bit more. Homelessness for her, with all the problems that she has in Gaza, homelessness was not something she could even comprehend. You know, how do you let this happen? And that's the same thing that happens in our health systems and all these kinds. So we have to learn that we're much more connected than we ever thought we were. And I hope that that is the new sort of world that we live in after this.
Thank you.
Well said. Well said, Amr.
Yeah.
And to all, before we leave, to all the Arabs out there that are listening, I know it's hard, especially now, especially with Trump. And I know it's hard to be Arab and express your culture, and sometimes it's not easy, but please don't stop. I love all of you. I'm proud of all of you. I know all of you are working hard. Keep doing it. Keep taking care of each other, and stay very, very strong.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amr. That was really wonderful.
It's well said. These words, I think, sum up everything we want to say from Contagious TV. So on behalf of Contagious TV, we would like to thank you personally. Thank غادة for being with us. I know that there's technical problem, but anyway, she tried, and we will have her again without Amr.
Whatever.
Will you continue doing shows virtually?
But
if
Amr,
the COVID crisis stays on?
I don't like to do shows virtually, so you know, I'll do a few here and there, but no. I need to. Comedy is, you know, Kulthum, and أنا مش Kulthum يعني, but Kulthum, she refused to make studio recordings because she said her art is about this thing in Arabic called tarab, and tarab doesn't exist in the studio. Tarab is about having a relationship and interaction with the audience. And comedy needs that. You can't do comedy without an audience. So virtually, you can sometimes try to replicate that, but I cannot wait until I can get in front of people again, because, you know.
I think we share the same sentiment here. You know, being an artist, I think I kind of definitely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
باسمكم جميعا وباسم كنار تي في بنشكر جميع ضيوفنا اليوم، عامر زهر وغادة درباس اللي كانوا معنا في حلقة متميزة. أنا ونسرين طبعا ضحكنا كتير اليوم، والحمد لله خلصت الحلقة وإحنا بخير وبركة. ما فتقنا بنسميها في الحلقة. حابب أذكركم بحلقات بكرة إن شاء الله الساعة 7 حتكون معنا حلقة عن حكاية مهاجر مع المهندس الرائع، يمكن قليل منا اللي سمع عنه، اللي أضاف اللغة العربية للكيبورد. المهندس بشير حلمي، شخصية رائعة من الجزائر، أضاف الكيبورد. إحنا بنكتب عربي بسببه. فحتكون حلقة متميزة. الساعة 9 حتكون حلقة في منتدى الشباب عن الدراسة الجامعية وتحدياتها في للشباب. والساعة 11 حيكون عندنا حلقة بالعربي الفصيح عن الخط العربي، قواعده وطريقة تعلمه. فكونوا معنا غدا في 3 حلقات متميزة إن شاء الله، وتصبحوا على ألف خير.
Thank you, عامر.
إلى اللقاء.
Bye.
سلام.